In this video, I'm going to show you some hacks for better writing, and they come from the world of acting. This weekend, I took a seminar with Tom Todoroff in Santa Monica. It was amazing, and there are certain things that good and great actors do before their scenes that bad, non-working actors don't. And if you understand this, because the thing is, when you're writing your scenes, you are all the characters. You are the actors. So if you do this prep work before your scene, it can allow your scenes to come out of you effortlessly. You know, the times when it's coming out of your head so fast you can barely write and catch all of the magic? If you don't do this prep work, and it's guidepost 3 of the acting guideposts, it can cause your scenes to be cliche, boring, your dialogue lacks subtext, your characters are less interesting, we don't care about them, your scenes could be overly long, and this is the worst thing, people. This is the worst thing. If you are not adhering to guidepost 3 in the acting guideposts, it can make writing incredibly difficult. You can sit down and try to work, and it's like pulling teeth at the dentist office. If you like these videos and you want more, you have to tell me you like it so that I know to make more. So hit the like down there. And if you enjoy this video, you can check out my website, Screenwriting Classes Online, for free and paid courses on screenwriting. I love Tom Todoroff, the acting teacher, even though I am not trying to be an actress. And he's constantly dropping these wisdom bombs like, get comfortable with uncomfortable emotions. To be talented is to be free of blocks. And this is what we're going to focus on in this video. Your talent is in your choices. If you think about it, all screenwriters start with the same damn blank page. Somebody else's page isn't whiter than yours, blanker than yours, smell better than yours. We're all starting with the same blank page. And the difference between a script that gets sold, that gets set up, that gets made, and a script that is in somebody's drawer somewhere was the series of choices that were made throughout the writing. You're choosing what genre to write in. You're choosing what premise to have. You're choosing what characters to have. You're choosing how to tell the story. You're choosing what scenes belong in the story. You're choosing what your characters say in every moment. It's all about choice, 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 choice. And if there are certain choices you're not making, you're ignoring, taking the time to make that choice, it is going to affect your writing. So let me tell you what I saw in this workshop. You know, I love to do the bad version of something. I like to ruin things to show you the difference between the good and the bad. Well, I would see the actors come and do their monologue the way they had prepared it. And then I would see the difference when he gave them instruction and helped them, and then what it looked like afterwards. And all day long, I saw actors that could be good day players, they were fine, turn into leading actors because he started to have them make choices. Now, one of the actors came up, he was doing a death row inmate scene. And he had the look, he had movie star looks, and he just radiated as this person who just had this calm, collected kind of zen, yet totally badass energy. He was into martial arts, physically very fit. You could just tell this is a serious guy. And he'd taken the time to have like a jail outfit, have the right shoes. He came with handcuffs to wear. And you could tell this guy means business. So he has our attention the second he walks on the stage. Now, this was a death row scene, so he had a table in front of him, and he was sitting in a chair, and he was handcuffed. And he's talking to the people that put him away, and he's angry, and he's telling them things like, you can't kill me, I've got the spark, something like that. And his performance was good. It was there, but his voice was kind of quiet. And Tom always asked the actors afterwards, what did you think? And he was like, it was kind of not there. I'm not super happy with that. Tom made one change. He said, get rid of the handcuffs. I love that you wore the outfit. That's great. You look the part. Get rid of the handcuffs. You literally handcuffed yourself and stopped yourself from being able to move, get rid of the table. Just that change, allowing a guy who is very physical. He's a martial artist. He knows how to fight. He actually had him do some fight moves when it was appropriate in the scene, which was totally in that guy's wheelhouse, and he could feel that. He let a physical guy be physical, and it set the whole thing on fire, and he turned into a leading man on the spot. If I was a producer, I would have given him the role. And it was just that choice that turned him into being able to give a okay performance to a great performance. He was the same guy. He was the same actor. And it was just that choice that caused him problems. A different choice fixed everything. Now let's talk again about the guideposts. There are 15 of them, and this comes from the book Audition. Number 1 is relationship. They have to know their character's relationship with another person, and that needs to be specific. So if you have something like a boss and they're someone who works for them, that kind of isn't enough, because you've had bosses you don't hang out with and you don't really like, and then you've had other bosses that maybe you go to their house for dinner, you're friends, you get along great. So you really, as a writer and as an actor, have to understand what is their relationship. Number 2 is conflict. What am I fighting for? How am I meddling? This is, what does the character want? So if you're going to have conflict in a scene, you've got to know, what do these characters want and how is it in conflict that they both want something different? Then the third one I will get to. But first, let me tell you about another scene that an actor did that showed why the third one is so important. Another woman got up to do her scene, and I'd seen her act before in a previous Tom workshop. She's got chops, has a great look. She looks like a cross between Sharon Stone and Meg Ryan, like she could either be the sweet girl next door or the saucy siren. And her scene was that she was married to someone who they had been friends in the past, and all their friends said, you guys should just get married. So as a joke, they got married. Well, then she fell in love with him, and now he wants to get a divorce, and she's fighting to get him back. The first 2 guideposts, relationship. The actor totally understood the relationship. She's trying to get this guy back, and they were friends, and then they got married, and that's the situation between them, and she loves him. Number 2, conflict. She knew what she was fighting for. She wanted to get him back. So she had the first 2 down. It was number 3 that was a problem, and it showed up in what she had done. She went up and did the scene, and after she did the scene, Tom asked her, "What'd you think? How did that go?" And she said, the beginning was a little off, but then I felt like I really started to get into it in the middle. And Tom said, "Okay, that's a problem. Because there is no warming up in the middle of a scene. If you come in and do that, 10 seconds in, the producers are saying, no, you're done. That's it. There is no saving it in the second half. You got to bring it right away." And what caused her to not be able to bring it right away? Guidepost number 3, the moment before. She was warming up in the scene, but when she was starting, she wasn't bringing it anything, which means she wasn't thinking about, what did this character do earlier in the day? And Tom could see that visually, not just feel it, we could see it, because she had chosen to wear something that was like a nice casual outfit. It looked something like this, but it'd be something you would just wear to go out for lunch for your girlfriends. Was it something that this person would wear to try to get somebody back? Was it dressed to impress? Was it dressed to save a marriage? No, because if it was that, she would look more like this. She might have actually gone shopping for hours to find the dress that is going to wow him, and he can't even think straight and says, "Okay, I'll give it another shot." She could have spent hours on her hair, went and got a haircut, manicure and pedicure, and she could look so much different. And even though maybe this actor didn't wear that outfit, and maybe there could be a situation where she couldn't put on an outfit like that to wear to an audition, it wouldn't matter. It doesn't matter if the actor is wearing that outfit or not, because maybe they got a call from their agent, "Hey, can you get over to Santa Monica for an audition now?" And they don't have time to get the outfit. It doesn't matter. If in her mind she's thinking I look like this, she's going to walk into the scene with a completely different energy than if she's just walking in as herself and has to slowly warm up into the scene and feel something. And this choice also caused another problem in the scene. If you're dressed like this, it's game on. You're fighting, and you're fighting to win. So you're going to approach the scene. You sure you want to leave this? You sure about that? I don't think you want to. I think you want to stay. She's fighting. If she doesn't dress up and then just kind of comes in on herself, it's like she's not fighting. She's not really fighting. It's like she's already given up and she's having a victim pity party for herself. And what happened in the scene is the actor started crying midway through. Well, if you either are physically dressed like this or you're thinking your character is dressed like this, it's like they've already given up. They're not really fighting. They're not really trying. And they don't think, I can win this. I can do this. I'm going for it. There's no way you're leaving me. But if the actor either had dressed like this or in their mind is like, this is what I look like, and I spent 2 hours on my hair and it looks perfect, and my makeup is flawless, and I smell amazing. And there were 15 guys when I walked here that turned their heads so fast that they might have had a neck injury. I look that good. If the actor was thinking about that, she's going to come into the scene immediately on. There's not going to be any warm up. And she's going to approach it as a fighter. You can't leave this. I'm not going to let you. I'm going to do anything to save this. And just that change of thinking about Guidepost 3, the moment before, thinking, what did this character do before the scene? Not starting the character right at the scene. So you got to do prep work. What did this character do before the scene? What are they bringing to the scene? This will also make your scene so much harder to write if you come in with your actors not having anything from what happened before the scene. They're just bodies, and it's also going to make your writing feel false because they won't feel like human beings. It's just going to not feel like reality because people are always thinking, doing something, and they're always bringing into every moment what they're feeling, what they're thinking, and what they had been doing the moment before. Let's look at some more examples. Let's say you had a scene with two people in a car, and they're going to his parents' house for Thanksgiving. She wants to marry this guy. He wants to break up with her. Now, if you aren't a good actor, and you're now both these actors when you're writing, and you bring nothing to this scene, no thought of the moments before, no thought about what happened 5 minutes before this scene, no thought of what happened an hour before the scene, no thought of what happened in the morning before the scene, the weeks leading up to the scene. You might have guidepost 1. You understand the relationship between them. You know they're in a relationship. Maybe you can say, okay, they've been in a relationship for 6 months, and you know she is in love with him, wants to marry him. You know he wants to break up. So you got guidepost 1. Guidepost 2, conflict. You know you're going to get to a point in the scene where they're going to break up. She wants to stay. He wants to go. They have goals that are in opposition, so they have conflict. But if you do not think about guidepost 3, the moments before, and you just have their bodies in the car, and he is driving, and she is a passenger, you're going to have something like, so you've been really quiet. Well, yeah, I'm just tired from the driving. And she could say, yeah, well, I'm really excited to meet your parents. I hope I make a good impression. Do you think your mom will like you? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure she'll like you. Yeah, but will she really like me? This is a pivotal moment. This is my first Thanksgiving with your parents. He might kind of cringe at first because that implies more. And he's like, well, it's Thanksgiving. It's not that big of a deal in my family. And she could say, how can this not be a big deal? Meeting your parents for the first time, this is a huge deal. And he could go, yeah, just don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. And then it could slowly devolve into them saying, maybe this isn't working out. I think we need to call a timeout. What? She could be, no, what are you talking about? We need to call a timeout. And it could finally, eventually warm up into something. But if it started with you not thinking anything about the moments before and she's sitting there as a body doing nothing, just a passenger. He's just driving the car. But if you take the time to start to make some choices and decide, okay, what happened 5 minutes before this? What happened an hour before this? So that each of them are coming in with something, the scene is going to be so much easier to write. And this is where the great, interesting ideas come to you and writing becomes more effortless. So let's say you think about it and you think, okay, road trip. They might be eating maybe bad fast food or go to some kind of diner. What if they're both starting to get food poisoning? That could be an interesting scene. So they're bringing that to it. So they're both, sick. And then they start breaking up when they're, maybe they have to pull over and they start puking. And maybe they say, I think that we should. And then, what? Should we break up, stay together? No, just, and that could be hilarious. And it could be, and I'm kind of going to the comedy direction, but that would be something and it would be different. And it would not be cliche. And you could write that so easily. Or what if they went to the greasy spoon and maybe they start farting? Maybe first he starts farting thinking, I want to turn this girl off, right? I'm just going to kind of be as jerky as I can and as obnoxious, and I'll get her to break up with me. So maybe he's just farting like crazy and he's just being obnoxious about it, trying to piss her off so that she won't like him. And, her stomach might be growling too. And then maybe she farts in front of him and maybe she starts to think like, oh my gosh, this is such a magical moment between us. I've never farted in front of a man before, but I just feel so comfortable in front of you. I just feel like you accept me no matter what. We have such a great thing here. And he could be, no, we don't. Farts mean nothing. I fart on my friends all the time. I farted on Steve at the Super Bowl. He's pissing me off. He knows I hate the Patriots. He and I just farted in his face. Doesn't mean nothing. Or, I could fart on anyone even if I didn't like them. And she can just say, no, you don't understand. For a woman, this means something. It means I trust you. It means you've been there to support me. And he's, no, it's just a fart. It's just a fart. It means nothing. It could go on from there. And then they could break up. But they came into the scene with something. They were doing something, feeling something was happening. Or you could make another choice. And it's almost like every choice you make is going to give you something and send the scene in a direction that's going to be fun and interesting to write. Let's say she's really worried about whether or not the parents will like her. So she went to the hairdresser and she got a new haircut, new hairstyle, and maybe she's kind of obsessing about it. Like, I don't know, she parted my hair on the right. I usually parted in the middle. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it looks right? Or should I go on the left maybe? Left, right. And so maybe she's bugging him like, I don't know. Do you know left, right, middle? And he's like, just left. She says, no. Don't just tell me the answer. Really look. Do you think right? He's like, I can't see your right side. I can only see your left side. So she's like, okay, well, let me take a selfie so you can see, and then I'll show you that. Oh no, that one's not good. Let me take another one. No, I don't need to see a selfie. It doesn't matter. No, it does matter. Here, look at that. That's the right side. What do you think? And he can just blurt out, I want a part in the middle. And she'd be like, okay, sure, I'll do that. And he's like, no, us, part, middle. This needs to end. And you could continue to have them keep talking about hair, but the subtext would be they're talking about the relationship. So she could say, well, you know what? Your hair looks terrible. When my friends first saw a picture of us on Facebook, they're like, what's with his hair? But I cared enough about you to stay with you, even though you look like a boy band from the 90s. And they could continue to talk about hair, like, well, you're always putting your hair products all over my bathroom. You don't think about me. And she's like, well, you don't do anything to your hair, which is like how you do nothing for me. You don't do this, you don't do that. And so they could have all this subtext when it starts with hair, and that could come from you thinking about what did she do before this, not just body in a chair as a passenger doing nothing. Or you could make another choice. You could think about him. What things could he have been doing before this scene to prepare for it? And you could think, well, all right, maybe he's this really kind of anal business guy, but he's a high-powered business guy, and he wants to break up with her, but he's not really a super emotional guy. That's really uncomfortable. So maybe he approaches this breakup like a business situation. You could still have them in the car, and she's fussing with her hair, and then he could all of a sudden hand her a manila envelope. And she says, what's this? And he could say, oh, it's your severance package. I just feel like you're maybe not a fit for my company. And I feel like we need to part ways, but I understand, you live in my apartment, you're going to need some time to find a new place. So there's an allowance there for, you to stay for 60 days. You are going to have to move your hair care products out of my bathroom and put them in the second bathroom. But and I know you like to go to the theater and the ballet. I'm willing to take you there for, 2 times a month for 3 months until you find your next situation. She's like, what? Then the rest of the scene could be them negotiating her severance package, and it could have all kinds of subtext and be interesting, and you would have a very unique, different scene that the audience would love. You could have couples watch your movie, and afterwards they would have a private joke for each other, and they'll be like, yeah, you're gonna get a manila envelope for that one. Yeah, that one deserves a severance package right there. And so it could be so unique and different. And it's all because you start to think about, what did these characters do before, 5 minutes before, an hour before, 2 hours before? So what do they bring into the scene instead of just having two bodies inhabiting physical space, but giving it no energy, no nothing, no preparation? You're basically putting bad actors in your scene. And when you do the work and start to make choices, your talent is in your choices, then you have something to bring to the scene, and that's when it's going to be effortless and easy to write. It's just going to be happening in your mind, and you're going to be furiously writing and trying to get it down as fast as you can. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will talk to you later.